Hey girl, disregard how I'm looking. I'm working. It's a little flashlight for my head. I got some stuff I'm doing. Anyway, let's talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta real quick, honey. I'm gonna try to get through this expeditiously, but you know I go on tangents, and Nene was on my nerves real bad. So we're gonna see how this goes. The closet. Nene done knocked this man's tooth out his mouth, ripped his clothes, scratched his back all up, like. And they telling him, yeah, he had to go to the hospital. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Nene. So you ain't even apologized to this man. That's what I got from that. I didn't know he had to go to the hospital. Yeah, he got a tooth knocked out. What? I didn't know that. I thought it was just cracked. Am I okay? Am I okay for watching foolishness like this? Am I okay? Are you out of your mind? Oh, I thought his tooth was just cracked because of some mess you did? Are you serious, girl? And that's supposed to be better? That's supposed to be all right? I was about to say the ghetto, but that's a Nene phrase. I don't even want to give her any time right now. Are you out of your mind? I heard it was just cracked. Baby, you crack a tooth of mine, I crack a tooth of yours. You scratch a back of mine, I scratch a back of yours. You rip a shirt of mine, I go in that closet and I tear all your clothes up. Are you out of your... Honey, if I was the cameraman and or the producer, because apparently she assaulted two people. She choked out the producer too. If I was one of them niggas, I would have done a Bernadine, went in that closet, grabbed up all them clothes, put it in the wagon, baby, and dragged it out yonder and burned it. I'd have knocked Nene's... Ooh, Jesus. Ooh, I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. I would have slapped her so far past next week, baby. She would have been in the year 3000. I'd have slapped her to the next millennium. I'd have slapped her past that. I'd have slapped her right on the hell. I'd have raised my hand and slapped her so hard that her spirit, her soul, her mind, and her body all would have disintegrated. Are you serious? Not only did you assault this man and crack his tooth, or think you cracked his tooth, but you sat up on the couch like, oh, I didn't know he had to go to the hospital. If you cracked this man's tooth, which you didn't, you knocked it out. But even if you're under the assumption that you cracked it, what, you thought he was just going to walk around with a cracked tooth and not visit anyone and make sure that the tooth was all right? Child. I would have, baby, I'd have sued Nene so till Greg would be my husband when the day was over. Judge, I want the house, the car, the clothes. Greg, she can keep the kids. But I want you to sign this paper that transfers Greg's marriage to me. I want to be married to Greg now. Baby, I'd have had Nene's wigs. I'd have had Nene's makeup. I would have had them big car covers she put on, calling clothes. I'd have stole her joy. I would have sued her and won legal guardianship over that heifer's joy. Are you out of your mind? Baby, ooh. I didn't know that the emotion was in. I thought I was going to get on here and just be fine. Honey, it's 8:35 in the morning. And I've been up since 3 working. So I'm tired. I'm like, girl, it's been, a long night morning. And I'm starting to wind it down. I just got a couple more hours to do a couple more things for the day. And then I'm going to bed. But honey, I had to call y'all about this heifer. Porsha, whether or not she touched Porsha is up for debate. Candy says she don't know because she went out the closet before Porsha did. Porsha says she felt somebody, nudge her forward or push her forward and her belt came off. Whether it was Nene or not was kind of unclear. Could have been Marlo, but probably wasn't Marlo because Marlo was back there yelling, she's pregnant. So probably was Nene. Nene talking about she never touched her. Let me go and get off the closet because I would sue that heifer for her toenail clippings. There would be nothing of Nene's. There would be nothing. Nene would sneeze and I would say, excuse me, those are my germs. Hand them over. Sneeze into this tissue and give it to me. It's mine. She could go to the doctor for a yeast infection. That's my yeast. Heifer. Are you at... There's no way. There is no earth. As Aretha Franklin once said in her hit song, Ain't No Way. Ain't no way. There's no way. Girl, not only would I have whooped her down to the ground, I'd have whooped her past the ground, sued her for ownership of everything. Everything. She plucked her eyebrows. Those hairs are mine. Put them in a baggie and send them to me. No. No, every day you regenerate skin cells. Those are my skin cells. Bone marrow, mine. Blood, mine. Mucus, mine. Tears, mine. Heifer, oof. Ooh. I would sue her out of Atlanta. I would take it to the Supreme Court and have the Supreme Court bar her from the whole state of Georgia. You got to live in Wyoming. You got to live in Idaho or Ohio or Utah. You got to live in Utah. Don't nobody go to Utah. I'm sure there's somebody on here that's in Utah that don't want Nene in their state. But look, I'm sorry. She can't stay in the South. I'm down here. And if I come across Nene, if Nene drive up this street right now, I'm going to get out this car. I'm going to run as fast as I can, catch her car, flat her tires, and whoop her behind. I'm trying so hard not to cuss because this ain't where we do that. Baby. She couldn't take a deep breath in my presence. What you breathing for? Those breaths aren't yours. Those breaths are mine. And I don't want them out in the universe. Don't breathe no more. Oof. I feel like I'm just keep coming back to this all review. I done been on this nearly 10, like it's been 8 minutes. I speed the videos up, so it's going to be, like 6 minutes or so. But listen, 9 minutes in nearly. So we start talking about Cynthia and Mike. Cynthia loves Mike. She's willing to get married again because she loves Mike. Andy say, well, what made you change your mind on marriage? I met Mike. Look at God. She's renewed. She feels, she can do love again. That's so wonderful. Nene says that she's spent more, because Andy say, this ain't really helping me. I need you to block the sun. Andy say, has anybody, met Mike? Have all the girls met Mike? And all the girls say, yeah, we done been around Mike. We seen him and everything. Has Nene met Mike? Oh, well, I've spent more time with him than anybody up here. For this not to be your friend, you really bragging about having met her new man. For this to be somebody that you so anti right now and she betrayed you so bad and blah, blah, blah. You was really proud to say that you spent time with Cynthia and Mike 4 times and Candy only spent time with them 3 times. Like, Andy says, how do you feel about Mike? I think Mike's great. Honestly, that would be a red flag for me. If Nene says that I enjoy the company of, anybody. If Nene Leakes met my mama and said, I really like your mama, I would cancel my mama. Something about you, Nene, like, I can't, you can't be my mama no more. I'm going to find me a new one. Because your spirit shouldn't agree with Nene Leakes' spirit. There's absolutely no reason for you and Nene Leakes to be on the same page about anything. There's no reason. So if my mama met Nene, and my mama's a very likable person. Everybody likes my mama. Well, most people like my mama. If they met and had a pleasant afternoon, met getting mani-pedis or whatever, I would cancel my mama. I would cancel. Something about you, Nene agrees with, and that's not it. I got to evaluate our whole relationship, our whole nearly 30 years together. I got to reevaluate. Girl. So they started talking about, has Leon met Mike? Before that, we talked about Noelle going to college, and Noelle had a little bit of a rough go. I like that they said that because, people like to act like, my child is fine. The best thing God ever put on this earth and we'll never have a struggle. And that's just not true. Be realistic. So I like that they said that, she had a hard time acclimating to college. She's at Howard. Cynthia says that Leon has met Mike, and people have to understand that there's sort of a package deal to a certain extent because they have this daughter together and Leon wants to meet anybody that's going to be around his daughter. I said, must be nice. Must be so nice. But I mean, Leon and Cynthia are friends. So I would be surprised if he hadn't met Mike. I really would have been shocked to hear that. Moving on. They started talking about Nene at Eva's wedding. Now, mind you, I didn't watch the season because I didn't feel like all this. Nene done got up at this girl wedding with the microphone because she was giving the speech, and she said, never go to bed angry. Y'all stay up all night and fight. And I sat in the office where I was doing my work, and I just reflected for a moment on how many times I know from this show Nene Leakes has gone to bed angry. With Greg, with Cynthia, with Porsha, with Candy, with Kenya. I don't recall if she's, had beef with Phaedra. I really don't remember. Nene Leakes is a ball of anger. She's a ball of anger. There's no way that she can lay her head on her pillow and not have been going to bed angry. And I understand that in the context of what she was saying, she was talking about her husband. But she goes to bed angry all the time. Nene Leakes goes to bed angry at her mother every evening. And see, I was going to approach this. Before I watched it, I said, I was a little hard on Nene last week. Let me approach it a different way. Let me watch it and look at it from a different angle, and look at it from the angle of, she ain't had no mama around when she was growing up, Tierra Marie. And let me try to see it from that angle. But I can't give her any leeway. I can't give her any leeway. Because I watched the show and I've been able to look at Kenya from the perspective of she had no mama around when she was growing up. That's why she wild and she don't give a, I've been able to look at Candy and say, well, her mama was a certain type of mama. Porsha, her mama was a certain type of mama. And I'm not speaking disparagingly on their mamas, but when you see their mamas on the show, when I see their mamas on the show, I'm able to say, okay, well, this explains this and this explains that, So I was going to look at it from, the aspect of, she had a little issue with her mama or whatever. And let's see, how we can identify with Nene. When I heard she cracked that nigga's tooth, all of that was out the window. All of it. All of it. I was done. And I think I'm going to be done forever. How does she still have a job? How is she able to sit up on the TV screen and tell Tanya that she'll never have a peach? I'll never vouch for you to get a peach. And you'll have to put the peach so far up your vagina to get the peach. And again, how did she get the peach to put it up there? How? Somebody explain to me where she would have got the peach, because Nene ain't gonna give her the peach. So if I'm not gonna give you the peach, how you put the peach up there? She just was in a rush to say something vulgar and disgusting, because that's what she does. When she can't think of nothing else, the first thing she'll say is your vagina. Bugs in her house. That bug came out your vagina. And she doesn't say vagina. She says, the more vulgar of the words. And it's just so, it's like Marlo saying your mama, but your mama is something that anybody can say anyway. I could be at the church, somebody get on my nerves, I say your mama. And they might not be cool with that. Because you say my mama to me, I'm swinging. So, but it's something that can be said anywhere. Nene has to take it a step further and say something that really can't be said anywhere. Nowhere. Can I feel comfortable walking into a room and saying, you'll have to put the peach so far up your bleep? There's nowhere I would be comfortable saying that. There's nowhere I would be comfortable saying, even if I don't like someone, that, oh, you saying I got roaches in my house, the roach came out of your bleep. That wouldn't have even crossed my mind. But that's because I know how to read. Nene doesn't know how to read, she knows how to be nasty. And that's the difference. And when I say nasty, I don't necessarily mean nasty in like sexually explicit, but nasty just in, she has a nasty attitude and she's bitter and she knows how to bring up her bitter feelings and emotions instead of giving an educated read. Let me get on with this because my phone's trying to overheat. I can't open the door because the car dead, but the door because the wasp. When I came out here, the wasp got on my headphone and was hanging on for dear life, and I'm trying to shake it without, making him mad enough to sting me. It was a mess. Moving on. Marlo says that 3 of Eva's bridesmaids, they just don't know how to. The maids belong to the bride, and I understand it's confusing because it's one word, so there's no apostrophe S in there, but it's bridesmaids. Marlo says at least 3 of them are spilling the tea. Eva says, no, it was just one. Candy says, it's a couple of them. It's a couple of them. And they go on to talk about where she lives and what she does and how she paid for the wedding. And she said Instagram, blah, blah, blah. Marlo had at some point said that she was a full-blown lesbian out in Los Angeles. Andy says, well, were you a full-blown lesbian in Los Angeles? She says, no, I wasn't. He says, are you a full-blown lesbian now? She said, or I don't even remember if he asked, but she at some point said, I'm not a lesbian. And Marlo took it upon herself to be in disbelief. If somebody tells me they're not a lesbian, then they're just not a lesbian. They're just not. Like, what can we, she got a whole husband. We can count, not count, but we can point to men that she has been with. She got 2 kids by 2 different men, you pointed out. So how's she a lesbian? She could be a lesbian with 2 kids from 2 different men, but she said she's not, so. And Marlo goes on to say, well, you were in a relationship with a married woman whose name starts with C. Then they ask, Eva if she's been in relations with women. She says yes. That still don't make her a lesbian. I just don't understand. At some point, they were talking to Nene and Cynthia, and she says, or Nene was talking to somebody, and she says, ask the girl to sit behind you, referring to Cynthia. I don't think she called Cynthia's name at all in this reunion, and that's very indicative of her immaturity. When I was a younger girl, I'd get in beefs with people, and I'd say, what's her name? When I clearly know her name. Now I say, what's her name, when I can't think of her name. But I'd call folks, what's her name, and whatchamacallit, and that girl, and her, and, all of that, when I didn't want to call their name because I was immature. Now, I can say your name. It ain't no thing. It ain't no problem. Anyway, at some point, well, Marlo says that she'll be happy for Eva, or I'm happy for her, if she's not lying. And it's like, when asked where you get your money from, you said God. Now, God, of course, is the ruler of all, and yada, yada, blah, 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 praise him. But you can't be honest. You can't be honest. Don't nobody know what you do or who you do it for, in the words of Two Chainz. So why are you so pressed that you can't know her business? She's not asking you any of your business, but you are so worried. Anyway, at some point, Andy asks Nene, what was wrong with Kenya coming to the party? Nothing, Nene says. There's nothing wrong with Kenya coming to the party. Then why are we here? Jesus help me. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. She then goes on to explain, which negates the fact that she tried to say nothing, that when Nene was having her wigless party, which of all the girls to throw that one, when she was having that party, she said that you need to tell Eva, Cynthia said that you need to tell Eva that whatever big booty hoe was from college is going to be there. And for some reason, she took that to mean that Cynthia was supposed to have the knowledge, even though Kenya told her that she wasn't coming to the party or that she might not make it, that she was going and had to tell Nene. Candy confirmed that they didn't know the girl, at least Candy didn't know the girl was coming to the party until the day of the party. Cynthia said she didn't know because the girl told her she wasn't coming to the party because she wanted it to be a surprise. Candy confirmed it was supposed to be a surprise. Nene can't say, oh, well, I got that wrong. I got that, misconstrued. I'm so sorry. She can't say that. She got to sit up there indignant. God, I want to fight her. I want to fight her so bad. I want to physically fight her. I'm not even joking. I'm not using, idioms and simile. I want to fight her for real. What else? Then at some point after this, she says she's not mad at Cynthia no more. I'm not mad. I'm good. Cynthia explains to those that, that don't speak ignorant that, she's done with me like she's done with, everybody else, countless others. What else, girl? Nene at some point says Cynthia looked crazy, without acknowledging that Nene also looked and is crazy, and to crack this man's tooth or knocked it out of his, ooh, God, ooh. I would sue her for everything. Her old noses, her new nose. The cartilage the doctor pulled out of your nose. Go get it. It's mine. I would sue her for ownership of herself and then sue her again for having had plastic surgery on my face that I now own. Child. Nene says that if that was her on the tape talking about the Cynthia thing, or the Cynthia Kenya thing, then everybody would have been attacking her. Yes, because you're dirty. You're a dirty individual. You do dirt. Cynthia doesn't do dirt. Not generally. Now, it did look a little muddled and confusing on whether she knew Kenya was coming or not, but the point blank and the period is, it was her function, and if she didn't want, if she didn't want to tell you Kenya was coming, she ain't had to. She didn't. It would have been nice, but it's not mandatory. Moving along, because my phone about to overheat and die, child. She got a lot going on with her. Cynthia brought up that Nene called her weak in that same episode. She said that she's not weak. She said that if she weren't weak, and if she were weak, this is a very valid point, that she wouldn't have been able to be friends with Nene all this time. And that's true. It's true. Porsha and Candy done got back cool. I forgot Shamari was there, and then they said a prayer for for Porsha's baby, PJ, who we now know is named Pilar. The prayer was beautiful. It was a nice way to end the season. I loved it. I felt warm after that because I had gotten mad, and then we brought it on down with a prayer. I felt better. Nene, she shoots at friendship as far as Cynthia is concerned, because she knows that's what's going to hurt her the most, because she knows that Cynthia values friendship a lot. So F her for that, and that's that on that. I'll call y'all for something later. We'll be back for Potomac, and I'll see you. Peace.